Welcome to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Elizabeth DeRazio. For over 70 years, MJ Harrington Jewelers has been committed to crafting the finest quality pieces for their customers. MJ Harrington knows that behind every piece of jewelry is a unique treasure of a priceless memory. Today we're here with the longtime owner, David Lantz, to hear how they can help you during your gift-giving season. Dena Stahlheber will show us all about the brand new headquarters of the Center for the Arts. Stockwell is going to introduce us to the art of bonsai. And Wally Borgen will tell us about the next SKIT production. But first, these messages from the good local businesses that are underwriting today's show. Remember, buying local is an important way to sustain your community and the programs we love.
This program is supported by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire since 1997, with roots going back much further as the country press, AccuMail, and the home of the Kearsarge shopper. Echo Communications.
The American Red Cross blood supply is at historically low levels this winter, and we're facing a dangerous situation. Hospitals and patients are counting on donors to get the blood they need. Make a life-saving appointment today. Visit redcrossblood.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS.
Welcome to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Elizabeth DeRazio, coming to you from Main Street in Newport at this beautiful historic building, which I'm sure many of you have driven by, but have you ever taken time to really stop by and enjoy MJ Harrington Jewelers? I'm joined here by the third generation owner and proprietor, Dave Lantz, and he's going to tell us on what you're missing if you haven't come in here yet. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for being here. This is our family business that began in 1948. Started by my aunt and uncle, my dad's sister Phyllis and her husband. And my dad and another brother, three gentlemen, became watchmakers.
Okay.
Right out of, it began right after the Second World War. And Dad went through watchmaking school in Pittsburgh on the GI Bill. And my uncle Bob went through on the GI Bill as well in Waltham, Mass. My uncle Mike actually was self-taught. Very interesting story about his background. He had to quit school in the 8th grade to help his family get through the Depression. So he had a great work ethic, served in the U.S. Navy during the Second World War. Dad was an Army guy, and my Uncle Bob, the other watchmaker, was a Marine. And their history took them to the whole theme of service right from the beginning. And so all of them became watchmakers. My Aunt Phyllis was the buyer. And, they bought a business that actually has been here in Newport since the 1800s.
Oh, wow.
But most people don't think about it. We don't talk much about it prior to the time our family took over, but it's really been certainly a fun adventure for all of us that have been part of it. I've been at it since 1976.
And one of the neat things when you come in here is you do notice this is not your typical jewelry store. This isn't a big box store where there's big posters on the wall pushing things at you. It really is custom. You come, it's like, what are you looking for? What is your budget? Tell us about that personal approach that's been handed down through your family.
That was something started really by my aunt, Phyllis Harrington, and she was absolutely, in her mind, it was required that she give that extra effort before she brought anything out of the case. And she would spend as much time, my dad used to say, with someone that was spending $2 as somebody who was spending $2,000. Once you were in front of her, she really focused on whatever she could do to help you and the reason for your visit to the store. And we've kept that going ever since. It's been kind of our philosophy from day one. I grew up with it, and before 76 when I worked part-time, it just became part of who you are. So it makes it a lot more fun.
So tell us some of your retail offerings.
We cover a wide range from watches, which aren't as popular as they once were, but we still have watches. Diamond engagement rings, all sorts of diamond jewelry. We have silver more than ever before. Yeah, lovely necklace. And so we at this point, focus on about any imaginable kind of jewelry you could wear. In colored gemstones, we cover a wide array of colored gemstones, different sizes, shapes, and those primarily used for birthstones. And so we do focus on each month a different birthstone, and lots of families' first piece of jewelry is a birthstone ring or pendant. And then I make S-rings, which I've been doing since my kids were little, which goes back about 35 years. And the kid's first ring might be this sterling silver S-ring I'm making. It's free, and it's always sized for free. for the life of the ring, and we've probably made a few hundred over the last 35 years. It's just a fun project for me to show kids how jewelry is actually created.
What I think is neat about this is, even just hearing you speak, it talks about crafting each piece or finding the perfect piece. Now, you're not the only one here. You actually have other people. Tell us about how they train and get certified in the different disciplines that you have.
Well, we're very fortunate. We have one of less than 150 certified master bench jewelers in the country.
Oh, wow.
Here in Newport. He's worked with me since 1990. We have two other craftsmen. Kenny started as a high school student from Kearsarge over 20 years ago, and he's evolved into a very talented craftsman. And then Dave Ernster, another one of our craftsmen, has spent much of his life also at the bench and earned his master's degree from the University of Iowa. But just a really skilled group, and they can do most anything. One of our philosophies has been, hey, they put a man on the moon in 1969. I think we can do this. And they thrive on challenges and really have some phenomenal skills to carry through.
So whether you know what you're looking for or you don't know, you can come here, and your family's commitment to the community and giving back. I'm sure as you see posters and things up for the holidays, you always see MJ Harrington supporting the community, and we thank you for that. Where can we find your hours and things like that to make sure we don't miss out on the opportunity to come here?
Well, our website has just been updated, and our hours at this point are Tuesday through Saturday. And 10 to 3 has been what we've been able to maintain due to a staff shortage, which I think the world has faced. But we've made it work well, and everyone still works 40 hours, just different hours. And we'll also offer appointments as well moving into the holiday season, but really year-round as well.
Well, thank you very much, Dave. And if you're looking for the perfect custom gift or maybe a nice estate piece, come down and see what community service-minded jewelry shopping is truly like here at MJ Harrington. When we return, we'll visit the new home and production space of the Center for the Arts, so please don't touch that dial while we introduce you to one of our great show underwriters.
This program is supported by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. Their full-service model offers oil delivery, propane, motor fuels with design, installation, service, and maintenance of all types of oil, gas, and alternative energy systems, as well as air conditioning, water conditioning systems, and their highly trained and friendly staff will assist you throughout the process of buying, installing, and servicing a full line of energy products. H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating.
Hi, I'm Jim Culhane. I'm the CEO of Lake Sunapee Visiting Nurse Association. We're coming up on some very important dates for Medicare enrollees. Specifically, it's the Medicare open enrollment period, which begins on October 15th and runs through December 7th. A lot of people stick with traditional Medicare. It's what you've been paying into for a considerable period of time. It's robust, it travels with you, you can choose your own doctors, but we realize that there are Medicare Advantage products, may offer some unique perks as well. You can talk to an insurance broker. You may also contact your local ServiceLink office because they have a program to help you navigate the variety of products and find a match that might be best for you. It's important for you to be aware that there are some Medicare Advantage products that may not cover services that are important to you. Services such as home health, which is a crucial part of this continuum of care necessary to help people stay home. Do your research, talk to the people who know and may have some answers and provide guidance. Reach out to ServiceLink as they have a program that can assist. But in the end, make sure you choose an insurance that provides the range of services you may feel you need in the future. The last thing you would like to do is to find out that you need a service that is either not paid for or not covered and find yourself with an unexpected bill after services are provided.
Where are you headed?
Just gonna hang out.
If any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you. For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle, coming to you from the Holiday Gift Center at MJ Harrington Jewelers in Newport. I'm your host, Elizabeth DeRazio. The Center for the Arts has been coordinating arts and performance activities for several years, but they have a new home. Tell us all about it, Dena.
Thrilled to be here to share with you our new creative space. We are so excited that the Center for the Arts finally has a center. And we are here right now in one of our 2 rooms. So the Center for the Arts' new location is 428 Main Street. We're right across the street from Whipple Hall, and we're right in between Switchback and Little Brother Burger. So if you head down there, you'll be able to find us. We're easily accessed in the back, but you can get us also from Main Street. It's exciting because we've always dreamed of having this, and we're finally at this point. So I can't wait to show you the space. It opened up just a few months ago, and we're working on it right now, but we're still using it. Right here, this very room, we're excited to be a consignment art gallery. So we're working on shaping this up, getting this prepared, getting this ready to be used for that come the springtime. Right now, we're using it for a variety of different things, but one of which is our group piano lessons for grades 2 through 5. I am so excited to offer this to the community because we are able to offer this at half the price of traditional private lessons. Normally, it would be so much more expensive, but because we're able to have multiple students at once, they're able to learn together, learn from one another, as well as at a reduced price for our community. It's such a foundational skill for musicians everywhere, and we're thrilled to be able to offer that. We'll also be offering very soon a watercolor class with Robert O'Brien, and we'll still continue to have a variety of other programming through this year and into the next year. But why don't you come join me over in our second of the 2 spaces. This will be our new creative studio. So we are thrilled to show this to you. For those of you who might have been in some of our early conversations, we flip-flopped a few things, but this is a fantastic space that we think we can offer some great art class programs for our community. We have so many things in the docket even being planned now, so many things we want to continue to offer to the community, but of course you can expect some great programming from our fantastic, talented artists in the community, anywhere from watercolor to acrylic to oil painting, as well as fiber art, as well as candle carving. We want to even see some a variety of different other classes here. So you'll be able to come and join us very soon this spring, but we need your help to do that. So we're calling for the community support for a variety of things. 1, share your ideas. We're here for you. We're here for this community. We want to fill the gaps. We want to be a place for creativity to thrive and for the arts to flourish. So share your ideas with us. Also, we need your help. You can see we need some different things that need to shape up around here. We want to make it an inviting and warm space for our community to feel welcome of all ages, of all types. Come on in, and we want this to be a great place, but we need your support to do that. You can go to our website, you can click on our Creative Space campaign under Donate, and you can find a variety of different ways to help us here. We want to be here for you, so come be a part of creating this awesome space with us. The Center for the Arts' mission is to support, promote, and connect artists of all ages in the literary, performing, and visual arts. We're here to enrich the community through the arts, and we do that in a variety of different ways. Our programming exists of mostly free programming that we offer throughout the year, anywhere from a First Friday program, variety of different things in the arts, such as the literary arts, the performing and visual arts, such as our micro galleries, which many of you may know, we offer them 4 times a year. We just completed one. They're fantastic ways to showcase the wonderful artistic talent that we have in our community in the great businesses that are right down here in New London downtown. We also promote our partners and those in the area who are doing great things for the performing arts and for the literary arts as well. For more information, you can find out about our events and programs throughout the year at centerfortheartsnh.org. Check it out. We have all kinds of different things there for you to learn more, and come and be creative with us next year.
Thanks, Dena. What a great space for them to expand their mission. When we come back, Rick Stockwell will introduce us to his passion, bonsai. But first, these words from the local businesses that make this show possible with their underwriting gifts. You too can join our supporters by contacting us at info@ycnnow.com to learn more.
This program is supported by Main Street Bookends of Warner. For books, toys, games, cards, gifts, and a gallery of local art. Main Street Bookends of Warner.
Can I go to the sleepover?
I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, "No thanks, not my thing."
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Elizabeth DeRazio, coming to you from MJ Harrington Jewelers in Newport, your new one-stop gift center. Bonsai is the Japanese art of growing and shaping miniature trees in containers. Our very own cultivator of this practice is Rick Stockwell in Sutton. We're going to start a 3-week introduction to his work. So tell us, how did you get started, Rick?
Well, it came from Japan over 1,000 years ago, a country where they appreciate simplicity, whether it's in their plants, their gardens, their art form, their calligraphy. It's simplicity as compared to American art is often loaded with color and detail. American gardens are kind of like that way. I've always been fascinated by Japanese art. When I was studying landscape architecture, there was a story in a book that is considered the best landscape book about a monk who bought this beautiful piece of land on an ocean point, forested, and he took 10 years to develop it. And everyone was excited to go there and see what he had done with it. And they were kind of dismayed to get there and find that they walked through these trails going up to the top of the hill, and it was all forested. They couldn't see the beautiful ocean view. But when they got up to the tea house, they bent down and took some of the water and looked to the side, and there was a little view of the ocean there, just a little bit. Then they went in for the tea ceremony and sat down and had the tea ceremony. And then after that, they opened up all the blinds, and there was a 360-degree view of the ocean. So they really know how to tell a story, to make an impact. And bonsai is developed, it came from a country where there's not a lot of land. And so often people had a tiny area for a garden, so they made the best of that. They couldn't put in big trees, so they used tiny trees. So it's a hobby that combines horticultural and aesthetics. It's probably the most difficult thing to do horticulturally in terms of keeping a tree alive for hundreds of years and healthy. I've killed my share of trees along the way and learned, but it's also aesthetics. It's a combination of horticultural and aesthetics. When I became a landscaper, and I wanted one of every plant. When I was in school, I worked in a nursery part-time, and I bought one of every annual, one of every perennial, a lot of shrubs, but I couldn't buy one of every tree. So I was intrigued, and trees were always my favorite. And my mother-in-law at the time took me to Longwood Gardens in New Jersey, and I saw a bonsai, and that was it for me. So this is an example of the kind of outdoor living spaces I would build with multi-levels and transitions from the 3 walls and a floor to of wood down to masonry and cement blocks, and transition to a pond area or landscape area of interest. And this is another room surrounded by plants and trees to create those walls. And so as a landscaper, I didn't just plant gardens and plants. I tried to create outdoor spaces like we have indoors, whether it's a garden where you have walls like this. You've got physical walls. You've also got walls of plant material and trees. And I built a lot of decks, multi-level decks, that you would transition from your house where you had 4 walls, a floor, and a ceiling to maybe a deck or a patio with a floor, maybe a couple walls behind you, and maybe a ceiling of an overhead tree branching, and then you transition from maybe wood decks to stone patios to make that transition from a house to nature. People live in New England for a reason, because it's so beautiful, but oftentimes they build a house on a tiny little deck without a lot of consideration for the outside. So that was what I did. I just thought, here's a combination of horticulture and art, but it took me many years before I had the time. I was working full time before I had the time to really spend on the refinement of trees.
Thank you, Rick. Next week, he'll introduce us to starting bonsai and the dwarfing process. When we return, we'll visit with Wally Borgen and hear about the next SKIT production. But first, please keep watching your Yankee Chronicle as we hear from another of the fine businesses that join MJ Harrington in supporting your show. Stay with us.
This program is supported by the Innertown Record, your weekly hometown community newspaper covering the Kearsarge-Sunapee-Sunshine region of New Hampshire. The Innertown Record.
We are strong and we'll get through this together, but these are stressful times. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, and know that you are not alone. Visit wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Elizabeth DeRazio, coming to you from MJ Harrington Jewelers in Newport, where they provide old-fashioned gift-buying solutions. And speaking of old time, let's hear from Wally Borgen about the next SKIT production. Wally.
I first want to say thank you to Yankee Cable, for doing this. I really appreciate it. SKIT is now in its 31st year of existence. We are so excited, and to be presenting these two radio shows. The first one is called Sorry, Wrong Number. And it's about a woman whose telephone gets intertwined in the 40s with another two phone calls. And so she's overhearing a plot to murder some woman. And it's really interesting. And not only am I directing it, I'm also playing the operator, the New York operator, which is such a good role for me. But that's a mystery, so I can't tell you a whole lot about it because I don't want to be a spoiler.
This program is not for the squeamish. Listen at your own risk.
Operator, I've been trying to call Murray Hill 40098 for the last half hour, and it's been busy. I don't see how it could possibly be busy that long. Can you try that number for me again, please?
I'll be glad to try that number for you. 1 moment, please. Ringing Murray Hill 40098.
Hello?
Hello, is Mr. Stevenson there?
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, George?
Yes, this is George speaking.
Hello, who is this? What number am I calling, please?
I'm here with our client.
Oh, good. Is everything okay? Is the coast clear for tonight?
Yes, George. He says the coast is clear for tonight.
The second one is also a 30-minute radio show from Burns and Allen. And for those of you who are older, you may remember them on television, but originally they started in vaudeville, then went to radio when radio started, and then ended up on television. Well, this one is celebrating its 84th anniversary. It was aired in November 84 years ago. And it was right after a presidential election. So it was very meaningful. And one of my favorite lines, and I'm going to tell you because it's not really a spoiler, was when George said to Gracie, "Gracie, why are you running for president?" And she says, "Well, George, there's never been a woman president before." And so I thought that was a great line. And this was going to be a perfect program for this time of the year in November. So those are kind of what we did. And what's really interesting is that for those of you who aren't aware of it, Radio obviously was the precursor for television, and people would gather around on Sunday evening and listen to these types of programs as a family, and it was just really, really nice. Now, I'm just old enough to remember a little bit about that, and it really was a fun time, I think, for everybody. So this is why we wanted to do it. It was a fun time, and I think that we need some fun in our life right now. The program is going to be at the Wilmot Community Red Barn on Village Road, and it's going to be November 15th, 16th, and 17th. The Friday and Saturday night shows are at 7 p.m., and the Sunday show is at 3 p.m. And what's really nice is that it really is a family type of event. You can bring your kids. If we say something a little off color, not to worry, they won't understand it. Tickets are very important. You can go online and get your tickets online, or you can go to SKIT, SKIT, NH, and it will bring you also to a place you can buy tickets. And if you like to have them in hand like I do, then you can go to Tatewell Galleries and Morgan Hill Bookstore in New London, and you can go to the Wilmot Association building in Wilmot, New Hampshire. Let me see, because Meg is usually there and she has tickets for you. We're looking forward to seeing you at our production of Sorry, Wrong Number and Gracie's Running for President. Thank you.
Thanks, Wally. That sounds like a lot of fun in that show. I'd like to thank David Lantz and all of his gang here at MJ Harrington Jeweler in Newport for hosting us this week. Their dedication to providing you the best solutions for your unique challenges is their calling. Next week, we'll be right back here on Main Street in Newport. We'll head over to Wilmot, and Laura James will introduce us to the Bark and Bray Sanctuary Farm. Charles Glidewell will provide us with a Thanksgiving reflection. Rick Stockwell will introduce us to the process of starting bonsai dwarfing, and we will close with some book gift-giving suggestions from Catherine Nevins. Tune in to our Game of the Week every week on Sunday and on Monday at noon and 7 p.m. This week, we play a Kearsarge Stevens boys soccer game. You can find it at TDS TV 13 and 1013, Comcast 8, and YCNNow.com. Check the program schedule at YCNNow.com for the most up-to-date information on all games, Yankee, Chronicle, and specials. Join us again next week at the same time for another round of Who, What, Where, and When of the Lake Sunapee region. I'm your host, Elizabeth DeRazio. Happy holidays, everyone.
This program is supported by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. Their full-service model offers oil delivery, propane, motor fuels with design, installation, service, and maintenance of all types of oil, gas, and alternative energy systems, as well as air conditioning, water conditioning systems, and their highly trained and friendly staff will assist you throughout the process of buying, installing, and servicing a full line of energy products. H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire since 1997, with roots going back much further as the country press, AccuMail, and the home of the Kearsarge shopper. Echo Communications. Main Street Bookends of Warner, for books, toys, games, cards, gifts, and a gallery of local art. Main Street Bookends of Warner. The Innertown Record, your weekly hometown community newspaper covering the Kearsarge Sunapee Sunshine region of New Hampshire. The Innertown Record.